Finally, I record another video after a long ass time. The last video, I believe, I talked about properties and how simple it was to start scripting. This video, I'm going to tell you kind of parts of that and show you some stuff too, but it's kind of where to start. Where do you start in Roblox Studio? Well, Roblox Studio, if you don't know what it is, it's where Roblox games are made. That's where most of these popular games like Grow Garden are made. Back to like 2017, that's where Jailbreak was made. Roblox Studio. And most people don't have a starting point. They don't know how to start. They're like, oh, I can't model. I can build a little bit, but I can't script at all or whatever. They don't have a starting point. They don't know where to start. So I'm going to help with that in this video. I already recorded this video like twice, and I messed it up. So I had to record a whole nother 30 minutes. That's crazy, so I'm probably gonna miss quite a few points here because I'm gonna forget. I honestly don't remember everything I was talking about. But I'm gonna make it a little bit more structured this time because I kind of went into more of the properties things, talking about how to make specific things, and I kind of did that last video too, so I don't want to do the same thing again. So, if you're a builder, most people build because they might not know how to script. So, they use parts in Studio, or maybe they did step up and they went to Blender. That's what Roblox themselves recommend you to use to model, because they know it's difficult to model in Studio and make your game actually work on lower-end devices by only using Roblox Studio. Well, how are all these cars made? You can't make that with all those parts. The game wouldn't load. You're 100% right. So that's why there's something called Blender. I'm going to teach you how to make something specific, but I don't know how to specifically make a box. But what I do know is I know how to bevel a cube here. Okay, that's pretty easy. That took like 2 seconds. Now if I wanted to look a little bit better, I could just shade smooth, and boom, I have a little box. It's nothing complicated. Now if you go to something like this, you might be thinking, oh, this is a handgun, kind of in rival style that I made. You might think it's complicated. It's not. Literally, I just learned how to use something called a Boolean modifier to make some of these holes. I made this hexagon the wrong way. It's literally 2 trapezoids that I put together. It was a pain in the ass. But what I didn't know at the time is you can just insert a cylinder. You click Add Cylinder, and you bring it down. How many sides does a hexagon have? 6. So 6 vertices, if I could get it there. And boom, we got a hexagon. That simple. Instead of an imperfect hexagon that takes forever to make. A lot of this stuff was just deleting and connecting vertices. Yeah, this kind of took a while for me because I was a little bit inexperienced. But I made this within a few days of learning Blender. Only a few days. And obviously I wouldn't know how to texture this very good. I'm not that great still, but this is very close to Rivals' handgun. And that's in a game that still holds 100,000 players, like almost all the time. Now, if we go back to Roblox Studio, if I had all these parts and had unions to make like a vehicle or something in Roblox Studio, the game's going to get a little bit laggy, and it's not going to run on your lower-end devices, which is why you would use Blender. I had a couple examples when I first recorded it, such as going into CrashBots. CrashBots is a little bit outside of the simple game category. Yes, just because it uses the Surface style and has studs does not mean that it's a simple game. It's a little bit less of a simple game. It just came out. It was made by this guy, Leaf. It wasn't only made by him. He had some help, and he had talented people help him. But look at all this. That's a whole scrolling frame. UI, that's GUI. Oh, look at all this building, which RoBuilder did. He built the lobby for Leaf. And, look at all that. That's crazy. How the hell do I do that? Well, you've got to have a starting point, because if not, you're not going to know. Look at all this GUI. You click it. Oh my god, it does something. And then, if I open them, it does this. That's a part. That's crazy. That's crazy. And tracking all this data when people are offline and having a global leaderboard. Like, these people aren't in the game. How the hell do I do that? Well, most of this stuff gets a little bit more complicated. But if you're doing something like this, opening this frame here, or not this, I messed up. But, this is all complicated. But if you go to something simple, here's something Smarty RBX was working on. Steal a bus. And you may be thinking, like, this on the player's base, it's not hard. I did show how to do it in the original recording, but it's not difficult. It's literally joining. You have this part with a Surface UI and maybe a text box in it. And by the way, I think Smarty used HTML, and that's alright. That was a simple workaround rather than making a whole thing. But, all this stuff was simple. A lot of it was parts in Studio, but these buses here, I watched them on stream, and they look very complicated, right? No, these were pretty easy to make. I probably couldn't make something like this, but they were simple for him. They didn't take him days and days to do. He was able to make one in just a couple of hours. It's pretty great. It makes things a lot easier to have that kind of productivity. But see, every game requires, you may think a lot, but if you can at least script simple things, like a kill part or something, you can make something simple. Grow a Garden's considered simple. That Steel Bus game is considered simple. CrashBots, a little bit out of the simple category, but it's somewhere to start. You don't start at CrashBots. You don't start at Grow a Garden. Grow a Garden may be simple. It still has some complicated things. And obviously, you probably wouldn't want to remake Grow a Garden. It's already been done. But a lot of these games that come out nowadays, especially this year, are simple. Very simple. Some people, if they have enough people, they could make that in a day and have it polished and everything. It's absolutely crazy. And that's what most people don't understand, is how simple some of this stuff is. If you want to learn more about properties and how to do some of these very simple things, go to my previous video to this one. This is kind of a sequel to that one, or a prequel, I should say. This should be a prequel to that video. Should have came out before that video, but think about it. If you watch just a little bit of that video, there's better videos out there than mine, in my opinion. You can learn how to script very simple things. I even had a template download in there of a non-copy-locked place, which is still free, that you can use to test out this stuff and learn and build off of it and learn some of these skills. And it really shows how, because I have a lot of things in there, maybe like 20 to 50 objects or whatever. And that's all from just scripting the simplest thing. Some things that you could learn in a day, not everybody could learn that in a day, but some things are just that simple. Now, how do UI/UX artists do things? Well, they insert a screen GUI. Not always. Sometimes they do it outside of Studio and make very advanced things like you see in Crash Bots. That was pretty nice. But some people just insert a frame like this or whatever. Just put a UI stroke on it and do this. Change the thickness. Maybe give it a little UI corner, and then change the background color, because why not? But doesn't that already kind of look good a little bit, I would say? Now, what if this was inventory or something? Okay, I don't like how there's this white blob in front of it now. I just changed the background transparency. Look how simple this is. And I'm able to do like 3 different skills that I'm not a professional at. Change the text color to that. Text scaled. I don't know what the hell happened to because I deleted the text. But what if I wanted this just to say inventory? Inventory. Look at that. Maybe I want this to be a little bit more complicated, and I want like a UI stroke here on the text, kind of like I did out here. Look at that. That looks pretty nice. And let's say I don't like this font here. I don't like Source Font Pro. You could change to the font. Look how much of a difference that could make. If you're making a horror game, maybe you go and use, I don't know, Creepster. That's an HTML font. That's used in multiple things. And this is Lua. This isn't HTML. A lot of these languages work together, but Lua is one of the most simple languages, programming languages, and Roblox makes it even easier. So if you think, it's going to take me years to do this, it's not. It's not. I consider myself not to be the brightest person, and I'm able to do a lot of this stuff. But you just gotta try. If you don't try and apply what you actually learn, you're gonna fail. So here comes the scripting part. I just showed you GUI and stuff. I've been talking about scripting and modeling most of this time, and UI and stuff. I'm not gonna get into sound effects production because I'm not good at that. I'm not a professional. I know someone who is, and they were hired because I don't know how to do all that. I'm not a professional at it. But at least sound effects aren't a visual thing. But we could insert a local script here. So whoever's looking at this GUI, local, let's say, INV label equals script.parent which I put this in I did. Okay, so all this requires is that, and then local player equals game.player. This is easier in a local script rather than a server script, because you gotta have a different way to get the player, because you have to have the player actually do something to get the player, because this is just the local player, talking about the player that's looking at it. And what you would do is I'm just gonna make sure my recording doesn't stop. INV label dot text equals would equal hold on, player dot, we could do name or display name. Let's say display name. My display name is GX Rogers. My username is uStarCodeEpic YT. Then you do dot Then you do apostrophe S, and this is very simple. Dot, dot, inventory. So now when I go in the game, look at that. Jax Rogers' inventory. That's crazy. It's rocket science, isn't it? It's not. And I just accidentally ended my visual recording. I'll have to put something there that's nice. It's actually quite a pain in the ass because I'm already 15 minutes in. Something like that. And that's very annoying. But it's simple things like that. That was very simple. That took me a couple seconds to script. Probably if I wasn't trying to record this, it'd go a little bit faster. But there's so many tools you have. You even have artificial intelligence now. You may say, oh, it'll just do everything for you. If you actually apply what it's doing, like if you're having it do something simple or whatever, let's say you wanted it to make maybe something when you interact with like the proximity prompt, you don't want to do this long thing. It gives the player 10 cash. All right, yeah, cool. It just, you tell the artificial intelligence what your cash value actually is, where it is, kind of like you would tell a script. And it knows most of the time exactly what to do, but you can't use it for everything. It's a very helpful tool. If there's a service you struggle with or don't know how to use, you could use that to help you. Ask it how to get better at it. Ask it how it all works, what you can do with it. It's crazy how helpful it is, as long as you don't make it do everything for you. Some people say they can make it do everything for them, but you really can't. It's not easy. But another thing I'm going to get into. Yeah, you have all of these kinds of roles and jobs, being scripter, UX artist, VFX artist, sound effects artist, composer, a builder, a modeler. But what if you don't want to acquire more than just one skill to learn how to make a full game? Well, there's something called a commission. This is kind of a commission. This isn't really commission. This is more of like this is a project I co-own, but I didn't get a prepayment for it. I didn't ask for one, but everybody that was hired, it was in a commission style. They got paid first. They don't always have to get paid first. They could get paid after. That's more of a salary though, but most of them overlap. This is something, I didn't model this, the modeler did. This is a little bit complicated. He's using all these planes and stuff, and it's a little bit difficult. But I'm not even an animator, and I was able to rig something like this. This I struggled to rig. It has a lot more parts. Actually I didn't rig that. I rigged Mr. Eternity here. And I rigged that, and I'm not an animator. Even the animator can do that, or the animator obviously has to be able to do that so they can animate. He made the animations and stuff, and there goes my Discord. I don't care about Discord right now. But, animation. You can click on and see the animations that he's done. I'm not going to go through all of them, but look at that walk animation there. You don't have to be an animator. I kind of forgot to mention the animator, but, and he's very talented at that. I'm not very talented at animating, but I can do some small animations, And I'm not a builder, but I built this lobby here. I let the actual builder and modeler handle the maps, but I was able to do this lobby here. It's not entirely done, but I'm not a builder. I'm a scripter. Yeah, I scripted cool things for the lobby, like this globe and where you could turn on the TV and stuff, but there's just those little things. And I modeled that plant in Blender. I did quite a few things for this that were out of my skill range. But I don't have all the maps in here, but here's one of the maps. This is the factory. I didn't build this, the builder did. and modeler, because he's the same guy. You can do both, which is a good thing. And this is what he did. This looks pretty cool, doesn't it? This is kind of simple stuff, but he's practiced it for so long, he can add like all these little details here. It's kind of cool. And commissions are better, because if you don't know how to make a full game, you could still make a little bit of money on the side, and then you can, with that money earned, excuse me, you can start funding your own projects, where you could have somebody script and maybe you just build. It doesn't have to be expensive. A lot of these people weren't paid a lot. They deserve more. It's a lot out of our budget. Like here, this was a commission. I ended up becoming the full-time developer of it. But this guy just knows how to build and model. I built and modeled a little bit for this. Like, I started modeling. But he doesn't know. He knows how to do GUI a little bit, but he also does it outside of Studio, but he doesn't know really how to do it in-game, which is fine. But he only knew how to build and model, but he wanted to bring this project to life. This is not finished, by the way. But, so he ended up hiring me, or whatever. He made a job post on the Creator Hub, and he ended up hiring me for this. He wanted to see some of my past work. Not everybody's going to want your past work, but it ends up being a good thing. I find it annoying because I'm always scrambling. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have like all this work or whatever to show that I can do this project, but I kind of have the skill. But most people just understand, like, oh, if you can do some things like that, you don't have to know exactly how to do this or make this kind of exact game before. You just got to know those basic things. And he didn't know how to do UI, so I did that too. And I scripted that. And this was a commission. I got a commission payment after the main stuff was done. Some people do it per thing, like, I'm not going to show the messages with the guy, like, privacy reasons for him, but I hired him to build a tower for me, because I tried to build it, and it was difficult. I hired him to do it. He wanted like a payment per, like, percentage of the map being done, or the tower being done, and I paid him $500 for when it was 50% completed, then $500 after when it was fully completed, and he said since I was so nice to him, he would do extra work, but he didn't have to do that. Some people will go out of their way to do that, but they don't have to. But that was a small little commission he got. It took him a couple days, and he got 1,000 Robux for that. That's pretty good. You may think, like, oh, 1,000 Robux isn't a lot. Well, it is. It can go a long way in development. I mean, when you get very experienced and are well-known for your skills and stuff, some people will even pay you, like, 500,000 Robux for just a small job. It's crazy. But you earned your way there and got your way there. And stuff like that helps you be more well-known and get paid more for what you do. You don't have to do commissions. You could just make simple games, like I said. But if you're really still struggling to make simple games, go and do commissions. All you gotta do to find commissions in a trusted area is go to Roblox here. Go to Create. You go to Talent. And boom, scripters needed. They're looking for scripters. Multiple scripters, and they have a budget of 50,000 Robux. It's like $500 they paid. You wouldn't get $500 because taxes exist, sadly. Teach me how to script. Some people look for help here. And they want help modeling on Blender, I guess. I don't know why, but some people go to here because they're really lost. Destroy a brain rot. Somebody's doing compensation, 30% of the project's earning for the rest of their life, your life, even if you're not working on it. We need someone full-time that can script, model, build maps, UI design, and animations if needed. So this is a lot of skills in one, so maybe you don't want to start with this. This was just 2 hours ago. People upload this stuff all the time. and somebody is almost done with the game, but they're finding bugs. They're paying 6,000 Robux just for you to fix something that may even be a very small issue that's causing a lot of problems, but it's very easy to fix, possibly. I've had that thing, and I've made a couple thousand Robux from just fixing something small because they really couldn't figure out how to do it. But it's that simple. $50. That's real life US dollars. This is someone who's even giving reference images of what they want stuff to look like. That's Blender stuff. It's kind of that's not simple, actually. I take that back. Part of this hammer's simple, but I could not make something that complicated. But my point is, I don't know what the hell this is. Yeah, no. It's just because they don't want to get flagged by Roblox for giving misinformation and stuff and get banned. So that's why a bunch of people fill it with their description with stuff like that because they don't know what to say. And sometimes that's all right. But this line of work isn't complicated. Anybody could do this if they just tried. All it takes is your effort. And boom, you're like, oh, I'm learning this. Now I just figured out how to do this without even anybody teaching me how to do it. I just kind of experimented, and I figured out how to do it. That's good. That's what should happen. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. I talked for like 26 minutes. Holy shit. That's crazy. I'm going to have to maybe, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Goodbye. I'll probably release smaller short form videos, like YouTube Shorts, kind of do like a daily thing, because I cannot do these videos every day. It took me a long time to even want to record another one again. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, and I hope this helps. You have a starting point when using Roblox Studio.